Through all the things I've had to see, visions of the pods to be, the moral limits are unseen, and now it all seems clear to me that arguing is painless. It brings a little changes, and I can do it with whomever I please. Fuck you, no you can't, only with me.
Did you just call me a little broad?
No, I said your statement was a little broad, not you the person.
Well, let's get this podcast started. I'm your host, Stewart Keller, and with me is my guest host,
Alex Murphy.
Alex Murphy. Now, tonight, Jesus couldn't be joined with us because of scheduling conflicts, but we are here.
Crucifixion.
Nah, he's been crucified too many times before to make that joke again. But, Rick and Morty Season 3.
Yes.
Best episode and worst episode of the season. What say you?
Best episode is definitely Rick Lantis.
Fuck off.
No.
Best episode was the Rick Shank Redemption. I'll give you, the Rick Lantis mix-up is a close second.
Mermaid Pussy.
Mermaid Puss. Get it right.
Close enough.
No, your statement was a little broad.
I see. Now
But-
it was sounding hypocritical.
Me?
Hypocritical.
Did you call me hypocritical?
No, hypocritical.
Hypocritical?
Hippo is not in the word hypocritical.
You said hippo.
Hip is not spelled with an I, it's spelled with a Y.
Didn't pronounce it. But, the episodes.
Yes.
So, the reasons why the Rick Shank Redemption would be better is the sheer momentum that episode has. It never fucking stops. Everything is explained in, like, every callback they make is also set up as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when they go back to old C-137, like, they set it up enough to where even if you're a new audience member, you wouldn't be thrown off. Which is a problem a lot of shows like The Walking Dead, they run into, where when they continuously go, if you just, like, stumble into an episode, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Then again, that's a show that's really easy to get into if you've been away for 3 seasons, because nothing's changed and nothing matters.
Right.
But let's not make this a Walking Dead review.
We can save that for another time.
But what's your argument for the Rick Lantis mix-up?
Rick Lantis kind of, you know, if you saw the trailer after the previous episode, before it threw you off, you didn't see that coming.
Okay,
those-
a bait
those kinda-
and
those kinda-
switch
those
does
kinda-
not
those
testify
kinda-
for
not,
quality.
Not quite a bait and switch.
It's a bait and switch,
But
clever.
more-
It was hilarious, but
More like
that doesn't.
like a curved pitch, something you wouldn't have seen coming.
Okay, so a curved pitch like when they dropped it on April Fools for Rick Shank Redemption.
Yes, I'm not saying that it didn't have that aspect to it.
Right. So let's try to say something more narratively about it that would make it better.
But which episode have you seen multiple times in a row, over and over again?
The 3 episodes that I've probably...
The episode that played, that one time during, on that Sunday, or the one that on April Fool's was played over and over again the entire day, 24 hours.
The 3 episodes I've watched the most from this season has probably been Rick Lantis, Rick Shank, and Pickle Rick.
Yeah. Let's not get into Pickle Rick, because then
Pickle Rick's a 3rd.
get into a little toxic area.
That was also a good episode.
Well, yeah. But I'm talking toxic area as in toxic fan base.
Oh!
You guys.
No. If you want to get into a toxic area in the fan base, we go to Szechuan.
Well, yeah.
Which, as I've said on previous podcasts, I went there.
You went?
Yeah, and guess what?
What?
Someone fucking stole it.
Stole what?
The Szechuan, man. There's either 2 prevailing theories. Either someone stole the Szechuan, or it was never delivered.
From what I've heard, there's only about 20 of them at each restaurant.
Right. So either someone took that 20 and left, one of the employees, or it was never delivered.
And I think McDonald's already put out a thing saying that they're bringing it back for like a week in like December.
I don't know if it's a week or not, but they are bringing it back in a bigger,
making it more available.
a wider release.
Yeah, and at more restaurants.
But I do want you to argue for Rick Lantis. Like, narratively, why is it a superior episode?
It also, you know, unlike Rick Shank Redemption, that's kind of like a tie-up, like where have we been, what's been happening, what's happening with Rick. Rick Lantis gets more into the, you know, showing the aspects, you know, the difference between two different groups of people.
You know, I was talking to someone
into
like with Rick Lantis, where it's like, in the terms of the season, it's really a filler episode, but in terms of the series, it really does progress the story forward.
right. It brings us back to Evil Morty.
Which is interesting because both Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon said that Evil Morty was a one-off character joke that they never intended on bringing back.
I think I saw a separate video where they're saying that they wanted to bring him back, but they wanted to be careful of where they put him, so it wouldn't just be kind of, you know.
Well, no, that comes like down later when everyone's begging, like, come on, give us Evil Morty.
Like we're not gonna see him until sometime probably mid or late season 4.
Oh yeah, like or Tammy and Bird Person.
Yeah, that too.
Like they said about Mr. Meeseeks, there was several times during like season 3 where he was in episodes, but it was constantly edged out. Do you know like the majority of season 3 episodes were rewritten, reanimated, and re-voice acted like 3 times?
Yeah,
that's
they wanted to get it right.
Yeah. You listen to Harmontown?
No.
Oh, it's so good. Dan Harmon's a fucking genius.
Yeah. And did you see the little 5-minute video they put out?
Who?
You didn't see it?
Which one?
With the drive-through, the ice cream.
No.
Oh my, we're gonna have so much fun in a little bit.
We will watch that. But
Morty's going vegan.
Rick Lantis.
Yeah.
Try and convince me of why it's a better episode.
So, episodes like Rick Shank Redemption is good and all. It's those little tie up, you know, take all the strings and tie them all back together. But
While untied.
but Rick Lantis is digging into and showing us how ridiculous the separation we have in our own society by doing it with Ricks and Mortys.
Trust me, it is, of the entire series, my 2 favorite episodes are Rick Shank and Rick Lantis.
Right.
So I definitely respect you for arguing this episode. And what would you say were what was the best plot line in that episode?
You know, the fact that they didn't reveal it was Evil Morty until the very end.
Yeah.
But, you know, myself and I'm sure many others.
I didn't even feel like it was a reveal. It
almost saw it coming from like a mile away, but wasn't quite sure.
I felt pretty sure because
like you have this like in the back of your head, like thinking, oh, maybe it could be.
Yeah.
And it's just till that last little bit at the end that you find out. Yeah.
To me, it really didn't feel like a twist. It was a very well progression of that character.
Right.
But in terms of like the 4 stories, you had the schoolboys one, the 2 cops, the factory, and then of course the Evil Morty one. I like the cop one.
Yeah, that too.
Because the relationship those two had, was really good. I mean, the way they had like developed all those characters and then concluded at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll probably see the schoolboys show up in the future if they revisit Citadel. But
of course, they have to revisit the Citadel. They have to revisit Evil Morty at some point. He's the president.
At some point.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed in the last episode by not having the president. But
Rick Lantis should have been the last episode.
Here's the thing. You know how many episodes they were supposed to have in the season?
No.
14.
So we skipped some.
They skipped 4 because of time constraints. They had to...
just kind of pushed it the next season.
Yeah. Which is exact same.
Cut it out.
No, they wouldn't waste that sort of material. Same.
Have you've seen the boards? They have like many ideas for each season. They only have so many.
Oh yeah.
It could have been just completely cut off.
Yeah. What was it?
Like there's a little bit for like where where Morty was the judge and he was jurying.
No. That was a reading at Comic-Con where they read a actual transcript from a courtroom.
So they recorded it through those mics on stage?
Right.
Because it sounded like pretty high quality, actually.
Yeah, but no, that's not... They went back afterwards and
like
then...
I didn't hear people behind... Or, that was just a script that they read there.
Right.
And then they just re-recorded
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Because it was such a hit. And then that's when they put, like, the animatic to it. But yeah, that was not an actual episode. That was a legit courtroom hearing from, like, some fucking Georgia courthouse. Which is why it is completely out of character for both Morty, you know, having his wife and kids,
Right.
and Rick being his anally obsessed.
Right.
Yeah, it's completely out of character. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But no, but what was a discarded episode from a season was season 1 was when Unity was supposed to be there.
Right.
And originally that was supposed to be a lot more comedic and off the wall because originally it was more of a Justin Roiland idea, and then Dan Harmon kind of retooled it in season 2. But the Rick Shank Redemption has such a like beginning, middle, and like the momentum and like the pacing of the episode is just phenomenal. Also does a great job with Morty and Summer as well, and Rick. And also the whole bait and switch with his wife's backstory. That was, you want to talk about bait and switches in Rick and Morty? That's a.
I mean, we don't even know yet whether that's actually what happened or not, because
Oh no, of course.
It could absolutely. Be
I don't
this,
think. Okay, personally, what would you say without 100% certainty? How do you feel on it?
I feel like it's the real thing.
I don't feel it's 100% the real thing. I think it's when you lie,
Because
you use elements of the truth.
Morty thinks that, he's at least our main Morty thinks he's C-137 because Rick said that he himself is
Right,
C-137.
but I would say it's
But,
probably because I don't think he would fucking tell the full truth to the bug dude.
Yes, but one the most not so like real sounding thing be the best way to kind of hide what the real thing is.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's 100% truth, but I don't think it's 100% a lie. I feel like when you lie to someone, most times there's elements of the truth that are twisted, and I feel like
Right.
yeah.
And then of course Nathan Fillion.
So hey, maybe he instead of going for ice cream, they actually went for pizza. You know what I mean? Elements of that story might have been changed. And yes, Nathan Fillion is another reason why I would argue the superiority of this episode. Like, literally, if you were to rank all, like, 30-something episodes of Rick and Morty, that's number 2, Rick Lantis.
Right.
Because while I loved the 4 separate stories, because it's split 4 different ways, I don't feel it's as strong as the singular story that told with Rick and Morty. At most, you could say the plot diverged 3 ways with Summer. But really, then again, Summer's more or less servicing Morty in the episode.
Right.
Also, speaking of Summer, remember when Summer had like a breast enlargement? Boob yeah, boob nah.
Oh, and then
Jesus pointed out a really interesting thing though. All right, remember Anatomy Park
yeah,
was placed into her boyfriend, right?
was it?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah. So they put Anatomy Park into him, but remember what Morty did in season 3?
Oh yeah. At the end with the
He totally
The guy.
fucked up his insides, which means Anatomy Park is gone, which means everyone who was in there is fucked.
including Pirates of the Pancreas.
Ah, Pirates of the Pancreas.
Even though Rick's scared of pirates for some reason.
I would totally love to explore that. Like in the same way they did a Mad Max episode this season,
Yeah.
I would love to see them do a like a Pirates episode.
Don't believe everything you read on Wikipedia. That one was right though.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I love in the last episode when Rick was playing Minecraft. He was like, "Isn't this for autistic children?" And then, oh, geez, Rick, that a lot of people might get offended by that one. He's like, no, I'm serious. I feel like I might be on the spectrum.
It's quite possible.
I gotta say, the season as a whole was not not season as a whole, but the season finale as a whole was not bad.
Yeah,
It was-
I'm not saying it was a bad episode.
No, not at
I
all.
just don't feel like it was the best ending to a season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Season 2 had a better ending.
Oh yeah. Fucking Jerry too. Come on. God damn it, Jerry. Always.
It
fucking
was
gets up.
look again. It was like when I walk away from any Rick and Morty episode, none of them are bad. It's literally one of those shows when you critique it, you literally just have to be like, okay, which one was slightly better? You know what I mean? Especially when you get down to Rick Lantis and Rick Shank. But as far as that last episode, the president was fucking hilarious. That fight between him and the president was fucking hilarious.
The Kennedy sex tunnels. The Woodrow
Truman,
Wilson cocaine lounge.
Truman Cocaine Lounge. What was the hooker dump?
I don't know who's the hooker dump, but then there was the Abraham Lincoln slave
Coliseum. He didn't free them all.
Yeah.
What would you say the weakest episode is? See if we can agree on that.
It's a tough one. Because, like, the, well, I think it was, like, either the second or third episode where Jerry and Rick go for a Jerry and Rick event.
No! That episode was fucking
There-
amazing.
there's-
Whirly Durly?
No, that there's just parts of it.
That part when he completely rails into Jerry and he's just like, you're a fucking parasite who just drains on everyone around him.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just something everyone knows.
No, the reaction from the snake is what made that scene, which is like...
Yeah,
Oof.
there's good parts of
Oof.
it. Yeah. While he's eating.
And of course, like I mentioned at the end, when one, the boob enhancement, two, when Morty fucking displaces the boyfriend, it's little moments like that are just progressing the characters. Like, regardless of if they say, like, at the end of the season, they're like, oh yeah, it's going to be more or less like season 1 or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not, because all the characters have definitely grown. Morty is darker than ever.
Yeah, Beth and Jerry are like actually like each other.
Right. And again, it's a progression. But I would say the weakest was Morty's Mind Blowers.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than Interdimensional 2, but it wasn't as good as the first Interdimensional. What do you think?
I honestly like both Interdimensional much better.
Okay,
Yeah.
name the sketches from that second one, because the second one, like, for me, the sketches were, like, very forgettable.
Second one is where they
During the hospital room.
during the hospital. While Jerry's getting his possibly having his penis taken off.
That was the best part of the
That
episode.
that's some funny shit right there.
It was. But you gotta remember the whole B-plot of them
Uh,
watching TV.
There was the girl who was getting coffee, and then she was gone, and Morty knows, and then she went on TV. And where him?
See, that doesn't compare to how hilarious it was when Morty accidentally flipped the wrong light switch.
Yeah.
And he's like, get the shovel.
Did I hear a second flip? Did you not flick the switch that I told you to flip, but the other one, and then hope that I didn't hear you flick the other one?
That was
By
fucking
flicking it back
great.
off.
But yeah, I would say that was the weakest episode of the season.
Probably, yeah. They even said, we're doing this instead of interdimensional cable.
But it was still a great episode.
I wonder if a lot of those memories are just a mixture from different Mortys, or if it's from that Morty.
I saw Mr. Poopy Butthole in one of them, which leads me to believe it's in that other.
Yeah, because we know that the Mr. Poopy Butthole version is slightly different from the one
Right.
we've been watching since the beginning, which means it could be a mixture.
Also, I don't think it's a mixture. I think because it couldn't be a mixture because.
Or just Mr. Poopy Butthole played
Yeah.
a different.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I saw Mr. Poopy Butthole in that one, which means it could be in that alternate timeline, or it could be
Or it could already be in.
in this one because I saw him again in ABC's of Beth. Remember
Right.
when they're looking in for the pictures? So it's just like, that's right. There is going to be another version of Mr. Poopy Butthole. For the longest time, I was always saying, "Oh yeah, Mr. Poopy Butthole, that's his universe." But then again, I'm like,
You're not staying home and just fucking around.
We hope you did something with your life. To see you in a really long time.
Like 2 or 3 years.
No. In the original, it was like, see you in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was timed perfectly. And then in this new one, he's just like, see you in a really long time. Might have a Santa Claus beard.
Yeah, a big old thing.
Now, here's the thing. Do you think, because there's 4 more episodes that they didn't release.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll release one near Christmas of this year? Or do you think next season...
I feel like Christmas is a good chance that there might be a special.
Yeah. I think that would be great. Not even like...
So, I mean, they did do a Christmas episode. But
yeah, it's not even that I think it would be a Christmas episode. I think it would just be great to release another episode around it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Adult Swim is reverent in any
Because
way.
December is around the time when they're talking about releasing Szechuan sauce.
Yeah.
Again. So that would be pretty good timing.
Also, people have deducted the lifespan of a banana. Points to it being next winter.
A banana.
Yes. If you deducted the average of a banana and a human, and
Are we talking a banana on or off the bushel?
I don't know. I am not the mathematician who came up with this theory.
Okay.
Some wise sage on the internet did. And what they have led us to believe is if you deduct between a banana and a human, their lifespan would average out to be next winter.
From the last episode.
From the last episode, yes. Which would also point again to the Santa Claus beard.
An average life of a banana. Let's say off the stem, off the tree in general. With all these chemicals is maybe what? 2 months?
So you average that with a human.
But a human's lifespan is typically around 80 years if we're talking in the country. How does subtracting 2 months from 80 years
It's not
make
2
December?
months, it's averaging.
You're talking from when it was in the tree and then it,
I don't fucking know, man.
It's kind of like the first actor from the Iron Man movie. He went out on social media and said, I figured out why bubbles are circles and not squares.
SpongeBob begs to differ.
Or he also said 1 times 1 is 2. Because 2 times 2 equals 4.
I've never seen his Twitter. That's fucking amazing. But to wrap
it hurts your head.
To wrap this podcast up, any standout moments in the season?
Well, definitely Rick Lantis,
Fuck off.
Rick Shank, Pickle,
Okay.
Pickle Rick.
How would you rank those 3?
Lantis,
No.
Redemption, Pickle.
Oh man,
I would.
it's so good. When he keeps zapping into the different bodies, saying he's gonna take a shit.
Yeah.
SEAL Team Rick.
And we were talking like 1 or 2 main plots in that.
Right, which are stronger.
Right,
That
but the
aren't
fact
as-
that Rick Lantis was able to do like 3 or 4.
Right, they juggled smaller plots.
Right, but they were able to create such a vast world.
By
Just
copying
from
and
sitting
pasting humanity.
Right. Not being a story aspect
Yeah.
that would help to make it even better.
But that final keys of the music.
That music was
Yeah.
like you had Nathan Fillion, but they had that music at the end.
God damn it, I wish we had watched that episode together.
We did watch that episode.
We didn't.
Yes, we did.
We did not.
Oh, we absolutely did.
I watched that
Aaron
on my.
was there too.
I watched that episode on my phone, eating pizza, and as soon as it ended, I
Maybe.
fell asleep and I rolled over on that pizza.
Maybe it was Aaron and Rowie.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I want to say we started watching after that episode together.
My first episode was Rick Shank Redemption
Actually,
of Rick and Morty in general.
Okay, best season.
Because we were trying to watch Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
And then they fucking played it and didn't play Samurai Jack that episode. It's fucking Rick and Morty.
But best season. Season 3?
It's a tie between 2 and 3.
I would say 3's better. Because you got that Rick Shank and Atlantis.
Yeah.
And also Pickle Rick.
But then we have that fan base that season 3 created.
That fan base was always there.
They were just waiting to become that.
Yeah, we just gave them more fuel.
What did they do? What did we do?
We didn't do nothing.
What do we do to deserve this?
I am an innocent bystander.
We're
The only thing I've done is
we're the
offend.
good fans.
Dude, all I've done is offend on everyone on the internet because of Jesus sucking off a whipped cream can.
How many comments did you even get on that video? 2.
On the video, no. On Facebook, Liv said the entire channel was devolving into porn.
I think it's more in the realm of like softcore technically.
Now see, softcore.
Because if you were just spraying it in their face, but like if you're putting it where your penis goes,
see,
that's getting
softcore is still.
It's
porn.
getting into that range.
It's
like,
still porn,
it's like that new Big Mouth thing on Netflix. It's like just on the line of being, child porn.
Here's the thing, though. Have you ever seen The Shawshank Redemption?
No.
Hateful Eight?
No. I was thinking about seeing that movie.
So you've never seen a movie where a guy sucks off another guy?
I've never seen. I've never watched. Why would you want to watch that? I mean, it's okay if you like that kind of stuff.
No. What I'm saying is, okay,
I personally
those movies are movies that contain those scenes, but they are not porn.
Where a guy sucks another guy's.
Yeah, like one's in prison.
Not like you see the penis, but you see the movement kind of thing, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, never one you actually see the penis. I think one's like a long range shot, and a group of guys corner a guy and rape him, and that's Shawshank Redemption. And in Hateful Eight, he makes this guy march in the snow until he's fucking insane from hypothermia, and then he sucks off Samuel Jackson because his dad fucked him over, and that was his son.
I don't know how I feel about seeing Samuel L. Jackson get sucked off.
I thought it was amazing when I saw the movie. I posted on Instagram. I was like, Mace Windu got his dick sucked. Go watch.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It was pretty fucking great. It's all like a flashback. It's all like his monologue. He's telling his dad about his son that he raped, basically.
So Samuel L. Jackson's character raped someone else.
Yes, and then he monologues about it in typical Tarantino fashion. He's like, "Your white son's mouth with my black dingus. That shit was warm."
That shit was.
It's a fucking hilarious movie.
But no, I've not seen.
You wouldn't call that movie porn, though, right? That's a fucking
I wouldn't
movie.
call them movie porn. I'd call it either R or borderline X.
Oh yeah. But
By the way, X is basically porn.
Triple X is porn. Did you hear about the Rick and Morty porn?
Rick and Morty porn?
There is a Rick and Morty porn parody coming out called Dick and Morty.
Well, I can't say I didn't see it coming.
And on that note, we end the podcast.
Yeah.